Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you will have a collective message post later this week, so definitely check that out. And if you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. Okay, let's see. Right, I have some scrolls from iSky's Steph. I'll have her link down in the description box. Definitely check out her channel if you haven't seen her readings. And also you can navigate over there to her shop where she has her scroll sets for sale. And I think she still has some custom ones available. Okay. All right. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. Okay. So right over here, one of the things that's taking place. I'm feeling okay. So I'm going to take these two, and then we're going to save this one for later because this is something that's coming that I don't think a lot of people know about yet. I don't think this has actually appeared for everyone because this is in the future position. And over here we're going to start in the past. The collective that I'm speaking to, there's a lot of things that we had to let go of. I feel mostly that this was people, but it may be behaviors, patterns, thought patterns, the way that we treated ourselves, lifestyles. There's different things that we've had to let go of. One of the reasons why I'm saying that is because I'm seeing this person has their arms outstretched and they're coming into alignment with like a higher or brighter version of themselves. However, this is sitting this way. So this is where our world kind of turns upside down and it's emptying out baggage, right? And I do feel that this is definitely speaking to me about people right now. We've had a lot of people go, whoever this message is for. And this pillar right here is the energy that we're currently sitting in. This is in the present position. And so one of the things that I'm seeing here, I'm seeing the trident of Shiva. And so whenever, that's my symbol for personal power or the God within us, right? Our personal sovereignty. And this is my scroll that right now is making me think of the third eye. And so someone here has really opened up their sense of self, right? Their vision for themselves. And this has opened up a whole path or a whole journey along trying to find their personal sovereignty to become actualized as a human. And this is what it is when our third eye opens and when I'm not going to get, whatever, not the time. So this is what's taking place here. And if you notice, that's also the same symbol that's coming up here in the center of this placemat. So one of the things that's taking place here is there's a balance between the feminine and masculine energies. We have the sun over here, we have the moon over here. So someone here, you've really tried to balance yourself. You may even be working on that right now, trying to balance yourself in terms of having a better relationship with, the masculine energy or with the feminine energy. And trying to balance those energies inside of yourself, right? When we balance those energies inside of ourselves, we don't necessarily display the qualities of one or the other. We display the qualities of both. So there is this beautiful blending that's coming together here. And notice the amount of gray, right? Gray in these scrolls. Gray is the blending of white and black. So some of you have really moved away from that sort of false light narrative, and you've gotten into a space where you're more comfortable in darker spaces. You might be comfortable in lighter spaces as well, and you might be a good blend of both of those. This is a very powerful energy here that somebody is sitting in. This is where I'm seeing it happen two ways, right? One is either someone had an awakening and this caused them to have to let go of a life that they used to know, right? People that they used to know. These people may not want to come with you, or they may, suddenly not understand you, or you may be looking and saying, I deserve better than this, how I've been treated here. And feeling balance is very important for this collective because of that merging of those two aspects. And the other side of it is, for some of you, it wasn't an awakening. You were born spiritual, right? You were always a spiritual person. But at some point you decided that you needed to change your life. You needed to step into a greater sense of authenticity, and only the people that supported you could come with you, right? Something like that. There's something like that going on here. It's a flip point, right? Something's flipping in the energy for me between here and here. And this is what the byproduct of that was having to release things, having to let go of things in order to step into a more powerful path for yourself, something with greater meaning, right? A search for greater meaning. This is like the hero's journey. That's how it feels. One of the things that's taking place inside this hero's journey, I feel that we are clearing out old things, right? Right now, somebody may be experiencing that to a higher degree. If you are, and this reading resonates for you, you might find that my previous reading resonates for you as well. So I'm going to link that at the end of this video. One of the things I'm seeing is that somebody may be going through and doing like karmic work for themselves, ancestral work here. This isn't necessarily speaking to me of the presence of an ancestor, though that absolutely could be the case. So take it how it felt to you upon seeing this card. But what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing these clouds. And for me, this is the past. So someone here, you may be understanding that there's things affecting this particular life that you've carried in with you, and you may be trying to work through those at this time. Others of you, this is like the cloud of memory. We may be finding that childhood things keep coming up, and we're understanding how these childhood things have loomed over us without maybe us realizing before. Some of you, this is going to be kind of shocking because you've already been doing this work. And so all of a sudden for this stuff to start coming up, maybe it's new stuff that you never had before. You may be feeling overwhelmed, like when am I ever going to be done with this? Sometimes the reason why we feel that way is because we don't think that it's normal that that's going to always come up, right? And everything goes in a cycle, right? You'll feel like you processed everything, and then you'll always have more to go back to. And this is normal, right? If you find that that's your story, it's normal. It's okay. One of the things that's taking place here is that there is a lot of emotions that I'm seeing in this. So whoever this message is for, you may be experiencing these strange emotions coming up right now around this time. Okay, and let's see. I do feel that this was a particularly painful situation for a lot of you. I don't know that this happened all at once. For some of you, it might have. But I do feel that this is something that's actually ongoing. And at first, it really bothered you because the people that you had to let go of were very important for you. I do think that a lot of you have actually, and I'm just going to say it because it's on the bottom of this card after this one fell out, it's forgiveness. A lot of you may have forgiven these people. I do think that there's something about love that's coming through here. Lessons about love, right? Loving the self. And then that lesson turning into the loving others. Okay, we have passage. And this is really talking about the passage of time on this card. However, for me right now, what this is talking about is a passage from an old way of being into a new way of being. It took some time. Like I said, I don't think that this was overnight for everyone. I think for some of you, this is something that took a few years to really weed your garden, right? And now that you're sitting in this space where you're growing your garden, you are finding that you might have to continue weeding. Maybe not like you did before, but now it's more a labor of love, right? It's not so much as painful as it used to be. This feels more like a labor of self-love. Okay. In this energy, for whoever this message is for, and I'm being told to take from the bottom of the deck now, it does feel like we're coming into some sort of divine inspiration. We have the muse. This is where we're understanding that we are being inspired by something. Again, some of you may have an ancestor with you. You may be being inspired by that ancestor to do certain things for yourself, for your life. But many of you, you're understanding that you're getting this inspiration almost from a higher sense, right? And this is why the third eye is coming out. It's like this higher realm of ourself is giving us this sort of inspiration to move forward in this self-sovereignty. So I love this. This is beautiful. Crows may be important for somebody. Peacocks may be important for somebody. Okay, apparently we're doing symbols now. They're giving me symbols. So if you're new to my channel, the symbols may or may not resonate for you. It doesn't mean that it isn't your reading if they don't. It just means that the people who these symbols resonate for need to pay extra attention. And so I'm seeing peacock feathers. I'm seeing here in this card almost like raven feathers. And there's something here about, what are those called? Orioles? They're giving me a bunch of birds, probably because Orioles, they're like black and they have the red and then they have like the yellow. Okay, and then I'm seeing this glass pitcher. It's small. It's like a decanter of some kind, but there's something important about it, like it was part of an inheritance or like it came from somebody special. Okay, and then I'm seeing prayer flags, and these prayer flags, there's like animals on them. Okay, and then I'm also seeing it's a vial of some sort of perfume, and again, a lot of like past stuff. This feels like a perfume that belong to like a mother, our mother. Okay. And that's it. Those are the only symbols they're giving me. Okay. So here, one of the things that we have is we have Valley of Unity. In this space, someone is coming up with this inspiration, having these inspirations on ways to either unify with people, bring people together, or bring harmony to humanity. Maybe peace, maybe healing. There's something here in this Valley of Unity where there's some sense of us reflecting about others. So and I'm seeing this mountain here. With this mountain in the background, there's like this little tree that's grown, or a leaf that's grown. So there is something that we're trying to work towards. Again, I feel that this here is the garden. This is the garden that we're building, right? So all of this seems to have happened so that we could clean out that internal soil so that we could build this garden right here. And this is the inspiration. This is the divine inspiration. This is all part of our valley of the quest. So again, like I said, this is the hero's journey. Right now, someone is in the space where they're receiving the information that they're going to take forward into their future to create something very beautiful. And it feels like something that is going to influence a lot of people. It's going to inspire a lot of people. One of the things that's happening from this mountain is there's this beautiful road, but the road can't necessarily be seen in this card where this main character bird is. So whoever this message is for, you've gotten yourself out of being a secondary character to other people. I'm feeling in this sense that one of the reasons why we release them is because of an imbalance, right? There's not an equal give and take. And so that may be very important for you right now is the people in your life, they have to have an equal give and take with you. And if they don't, then they can't stay. That's very much the energy I'm getting for this collective. And this may even be in, for example, your work. If it's not paying you what you're worth, you're not keeping the job, for example. This can happen in different ways. It doesn't necessarily have to be all about humanity, but I am feeling that it's that giving and receiving that the heart chakra experiences. And the heart chakra experiences all kinds of giving and receiving. One of the things that's taking place in this is this mountain back here. It looks like tendons. It looks like muscles. It looks like sinew. So someone here is really getting the experience inside of this space and building that muscle of how to be the best gardener that they can, right? How to do things the best that you can do. So maybe you're a tarot reader and you have the inspiration to have a tarot channel and you're finding that you're not quite doing it yet, right? And what you're really doing is you're practicing and you're getting the practice in and you're building up the muscles. And meanwhile, in the background, you're having this reflection about the past and clearing out certain things inside of your past, which is building up these muscles to be a healthier person. Something like that is taking place here, whether it's about tarot reading, whether it's about being an artist, whether it's about, being a better therapist, whether it's about, whatever the case is that you've set up for yourself in the future. Someone here in your practice of self-sovereignty, in your practice of fully awakening and actualizing yourself as a person, you're getting some sort of experience where it's building muscle for yourself. So if you've been kind of beating yourself up for not taking some sort of step or not being able to, don't, because there's stuff going on here that's required for you to really meet the future the way that it needs to happen, right? Okay. Now this next part is going to be for some of you. It's not going to be for others of you. Again, everybody, even if you resonate with this reading, everybody's in a different place along this timeline. And it's happening in different flavors for everybody, right? Depending on how your soul needs to experience it. Here, one of the cards that I'm seeing is the universal body. This is telling me that there are people within this collective who are coming into a greater understanding that the universe is not necessarily something outside of you. Some of you are really getting into the idea of everything that you are experiencing is an aspect of yourself pushed out, right? Some of you are really understanding the symbols that the 3D is speaking and how to use those symbols to identify and understand certain things inside of you. It's like the healing journey on steroids, right? Someone here is coming into this. This really speaks to me about somebody who maybe is entering into the practice of non-duality or has been having that come up more often in their journey. Okay, And here what we see is curiosity. One of the things that's happening here for whoever this is making you more curious about your external reality, right? Rather than meeting it with being afraid, this period of having withdrawn is teaching you to be more curious about this thing, right? What can I do here? What can I really do here? Like, I'm a sovereign being. I'm actualized now. Let's play. Like, that's the energy, is like, let's play. Let's see what we can do here. And someone here has gone from being the victim of the world to now understanding that the world is a game that they're looking forward to playing, right? Not, and I don't even want to explain that. People will take that how they want to take it. I don't even want to explain it. Here what we see withdrawal. So again, there was a period of withdrawal that happened here. Now let's get something for this scroll, please. What's happening here? Okay, both of these, right? Okay, I heard 4, so, okay. Okay, so this is the scroll that I'm seeing, and this is what's coming up. And this is not surprising following this set here. So whether this resonated for you or not, this is the energy that's coming up. Okay, so I always see this as a person who has their arms out, right? This is a person that's almost like unfurling. They're unleashing themselves. And they have the solar plexus energy that's coming and it's spiraling out. It's this new path of discovering what this self-sovereignty means, right? What can be accomplished in this space, how deep that runs, how beautiful it can be. It's an experience of the divine in a completely different way. And I'm seeing this as being tied into the heart space, and this is pouring out. Part of it is coming back and it's touching this, and then there's this gray pillar back here. This almost looks like a person who's stepping into our aura or our field, and there's something here about their spiritual nature, so their highest aspect, that's coming into our heart space. What this is saying to me is that it goes back to that idea of love that was coming up. Someone here, we've understood not only how to actualize ourselves, but this is almost as though our aura is becoming extremely magnetic. This is becoming extremely magnetic for people who possibly need to receive some sort of healing, right? And this doesn't mean that we're doing all this stuff for them and we're working for them and we have to go out of our way. These are individuals who, just by being in the presence of a person like this, it has a healing effect, right? One of the things when we are... I'm going to say this, right, and this isn't to like put down anybody's path or anything, but I want to address something about people who have integrated non-duality. If you're in the presence of a person who has truly integrated the concepts of non-duality, there's a conflict within their energy that's no longer taking place, and that in itself is an extremely healing presence. So someone here, we're stepping into a place where our very energy itself is starting to become healing. What we have here is there's going to be this experience that someone has, and I feel that for some of you it's already starting off here. There may be a little bit of trepidation towards others, and this is just because we've been in this withdrawal energy for so long. You may be connecting to other people, they may be draining you, but it's not necessarily connected to people in the way that we know that we're going to be. I don't know what that means, but that's what's coming through, so that's what I'm saying. And it's almost as though we're connecting in so maybe it's like connecting over social media or connecting, over the phone, but you're not actually going out and connecting. Again, this isn't a message saying that everyone is going to go out and connect, but that's just what's coming to mind right now for someone. And you haven't necessarily gone out, and there's some trepidation in there because you don't know what to expect, right? The last time you did that, it's kind of a shit show. So now you don't know what to expect if you go back out there. And so this may be an energy that somebody is sitting in right now. One of the things that is coming through with that is this card. Now, this card is the Valley of Bewilderment. And the Valley of Bewilderment, it's like nothing makes sense, right? And this may be why we have this trepidation, is because we look around at everything and we're like, none of that makes sense. None of that makes sense. All the things going on in the world don't make sense, right? And so this may be making us hesitate a little bit. Okay, so this is the message right here. Okay, I heard to take this too. Okay, what does that mean in context to this? Okay, so what's happening right now, just like you were in a transition period here, right, where there was this long transition where this happened, and you came into this period and you spent a lot of time learning about yourself, you spent a lot of time learning about other people. I feel that someone here has really immersed themselves in learning about religions, about spirituality. Others of you, you've really learned about psychology, human behavior, right, and what to expect, especially if you had some narcissistic attachments in the past. Someone here has spent a very long time on their own really learning about how to better equip them, right? So that they don't have to live whatever story they left behind, whatever the story was. And in this space, we've gained a lot of knowledge. We've opened our eyes to who we are, right? We've opened our eyes to the things that we love about ourselves, to the things maybe we don't like about ourselves, and we've learned how to love ourselves through those things. What's happening here is now we're in a new transition because there's some place where we have to be. Okay, and that's really the message of this. There's somewhere we have to be. Deep down inside, this is an energy that someone feels, because this is the whole reason why we've navigated this path, because there's some place that we have to be, there's someone that we have to meet, there's some group that we have to be involved with, there's something, right? I'm not here to tell you which one it is. It's just for everybody, it's something different. And this is where our divine nature essentially helps heal the collective energy, right? This doesn't, again, have to be in a traditional healing modality. Maybe you're a musician and your music just makes people feel better after a long day of work. Or maybe you do something at a workplace. Like, it could be anything. It could be any kind of job. Maybe you have a normal job, like that most people, think like a banker, or you know what I mean? Like something that people are like, oh, that's not spiritual. Everything is spiritual. That's the whole point of non-duality. Everything is spiritual. Everything is something spiritual. It's how we perceive it, right? And by going to this job and just being yourself and having people that are stressed out around you, you provide comfort, you provide support, even if you're not necessarily doing anything. Your energy itself is very grounding and anchoring, right? You have a different spin on things, and just by talking to you, you help people view things a different way. And this is why it's so important not to discount the normal things that we do in our life, whether it's going to the grocery store or having a regular 9-to-5 that we're trying to get out of because we don't think it's spiritual enough. There's things that we do every single day that are insanely spiritual, but we overlook it because we have this idea and this lens of what spirituality should look like, right? Whoever this message is for, you're moving away from that, and there's some place that you have to be, because there's okay, they're telling me not to label that down, so there's just some place that you have to be. And here we have the healer and we have the universal mind. This is why, right? Healing through our perception, and this perception is open. It's open to possibilities. You may not necessarily be there all the way yet, right? I don't know that this ever actually stops, to be honest, but you're beginning, and this beginning is an energy that can help, right, in some way. It can improve things. It can satiate things. It can change things. It can cause massive transformation, all by just viewing things the way that you view them, by having the perspective that you have, right? This is not something that we have to necessarily work for or put energy towards. Maybe you do. You'll know, because someone here, it's saying that you already have the inspiration for whatever this is. So if you're watching this and you're like, well, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, this may not be your reading. Right? Like I say at the beginning of every single reading, these are collective readings. If you find yourself confused or arguing with it, it's not your reading. It can be your reading up to now, but maybe you're in a different part of this timeline, right? Then just understand that this may be something that's going to happen for you. But this right here, this is someplace that it doesn't feel like a destination, right? Your soul's not naturally navigating you places, so you don't have to have the logical answers. The logical answers are there for your ego identity to feel safe. This is a soul story. This is not about, when we're doing these readings and stuff, this isn't about our ego identity. This is about where we're going going as spiritual beings, which is something completely different. You're not necessarily going to have the information or the knowledge. You're going to go there, right? This is the flow. This is where things are flowing to. And because we're stepping into this energy here with that universal mind, opening our minds up, releasing the things that we need to feel more important, the things that we need to feel like we understand who we are, like our titles and our labels and our, categories that we place ourselves inside of, by opening those things up, by not having to control things and becoming a little bit more unattached to the outcome and allowing ourselves simply to be and simply to flow inside of the energy that's taking us. Someone here is going to naturally get here. And the thing that you're going to find is that this is something that really wakes up inside of you. You may already resonate with somebody that has a healing ability, and that just means that this is going to open up more. This doesn't necessarily even have to be about a healing gift, right? You may find that you have other spiritual abilities, but this is the end result. Our abilities are here to heal humanity. They're here to heal the earth. They're here to heal our cosmic family, right? So healing is the natural state of the world, right? There's creation, there's sustaining, there's destroying, and all of it in some way is an act of healing. It isn't when you don't understand the story, or when you don't understand the process of how death and destruction is a natural cycle of healing. There is something very beautiful that's emerging from somebody's soul in this process, and you're being guided on this path. So whoever this message is for, you're in a very important part of this. You're in a very important part of this where these processes are still taking place, and be patient with it and allow it to happen. Allow yourself to really get into this and immerse into it so that this can really align for you. You have become an actualized person, whoever this message is for, and now you're receiving the inspiration that's going to carry you forward. You have a lot to look forward to. So whoever this message is for, I hope this resonates with you, and feel free to hit the like button, and until next time.